Hello everyone, this is Harsh and you are watching WPF World. This video is already uploaded but some of the viewers write comment that it was fast and they are not able to create it. Because of that I am making this video to explain the concept. To create the project, go to File menu, select New and then select the project. Create a new project dialog will open. Here I will select WPF.NET Framework. You can set the project name here. Here I will set the framework to 4.8 and will click on create. It will create the new WPF app project. Now I will first create a table, so I will open the SQL Server Management Studio. Inside the employee DB I will create a table called employee details. Here I will first create the MVVM structure. So to do that I need three folders called models, views, view models. I will add the WPF window inside the views folder. I will remove the main window from here because all the view will be inside the views folder. Now I will change the startup URI of app.xaml to employee details window. Let's run and see if it is working or not. Fine, it is working perfectly. Here we need to add the reference of EntityFramework. To add the reference, right click on references and select manage NuGet package. Search for EntityFramework and install it. I will add edu.net entity data model inside the models. To do that, right click on models and select the new item. Select the data and select the edu.net entity data model. Set the name of the model and click on add. Entity data model wizard will open. Select the EF designer from database and click on next. Click on next and provide the server name. I am giving dot here. Here you can select the database name or you can enter the database name. My database name is employee, so I will select employee. Click on test connection to check if connection is successful or not. Now click on OK. I will change the name to the employee entities and I will click on next. Select the table and check if table is selected or not. If not, select your table and click on finish. I am going to bind this model to the view. That's why I am implementing the iNotify property change to this model. Let's implement it and call the on property change to all the setter of the property. It is time to bind the property to view. Let's bind each property to respective grid view column. Now I will add the view model and I will implement the iNotify property change to view model. I will implement in the same way as I implemented for the model. I will set the data context of the employee details view to employee view model. Now I will add some records to the table. I will create the employee view model constructor and also I will add one property of type of available collection of employee detail. Now let's bind the item source of list view with lst employee detail. Now I will create a field of type employee entities using which we can do the CRUD operation. I will instantiate the employee entity field inside the constructor. Inside the constructor I will call method called load employee, which will load the employee detail from the employee table. Inside load employee method, I will initialize the collection with employee details. Employee entities.employee details will return all the records of the employee table. Now let's run it and see the output. You can see the records of employee table here. Now let's create the command for delete and update button and bind to the button. Inside the delete method, I will write the logic to remove the record from the table as well as from UI. Let's bind the delete command to the delete button. Now let's run and see. If you observed here, delete method not called on delete button click. To fix this issue, we have to use the relative source to the command binding. I am binding command parameter to the current row data. I am trying to remove the record from this list view. You can see here remove method is called successfully, but the record is not removed from the database. So to remove the record from the database, we have to call the save changes method. Now let's run and see the result. This time if you observe the record is removed from the table but not from the UI. To remove the record from the UI, we have to update the collection. Means we have to remove the record from the collection which we pointed to the item source of list view. Let's run and see the output. If you observe this time, record is deleted from the table and as well as from the UI. Now I will add the controls for add and update the record. Now I will add the property called selected employee type employee details. I will bind the properties to the respective text box text. I will bind the update button command with update employee command, and I will create the command inside the employee view model. I will bind the update button of grid view column with update command, and I will create the update command inside the employee view model. Inside the update method, I will initialize the selected employee with the method parameter, which is in this case is command parameter. Inside the update employee method, I have to call save change methods. Let's run and see the results. After record updated, I want to clear all the text box. So I will just initialize selected employee with new object. Now let's add logic for insertion of records. For that I will create the required property and will bind to the respective controls. I will bind add button command to the add employee command, and I will create the add employee command inside the view model. Inside the add employee method, I will write logic to insert the record. To add the record to the database, we have to use add method, which will take the record to be added as a parameter. And to commit the changes, we need to call the save change method. After insertion completed, we will clear the employee detail object. Here I will initialize ID value with EMP plus number of records added to the database. Let's run and see the results. Here I am trying to add one record. You can see here one record is added to employee details table, but it is not added to the UI. To add it to UI, we need to update the collection. Let's update it. Let's run and see the results. You can see here this time UI is updated. Let's add one more record. You can see here this record is also added to the UI. I hope this video helped you. If you think this will help others, let's share it.